day for New York 19.
40,000 Democrats voted in the primary. So if every person that voted in the primary goes out and brings 2 people with them, if I did my math right, we were gonna win the race.
I've traveled, I'm doing events across the river tonight, I'm doing events up in Columbia County, Sullivan County, all over this district in the next few days. Democrats are more engaged and active than I've ever seen them in this district. I think what should drive us to the polls is we have more at stake here than anyone else. We're the ones who are going to have to figure out this healthcare mess. We're the ones who are going to have to figure out how to pay back $20 trillion in national debt. So there's all these issues. They were not created by us, but we're the ones who are going to have to figure them out.
Young people being active and engaged, that's what's going to be the deciding factor as to whether or not we're going to take back this country. Only 16% of people aged 18 to 24 voted in 2016. In terms of the country as a whole, the voter turnout was about 54%. If we don't win these elections, if Antonio doesn't win, this is one of the most competitive congressional races in the country, who's going to check our president? The young people, if they were to vote, we'd sweep it. We would sweep this election. It wouldn't even be close.
I absolutely hate when people say, oh, I don't really care, or politics doesn't affect me, because it literally affects every aspect of your life. My main thing was just vote. I don't care how you vote, just vote.
The so-called leader of the free world has a fast and loose relationship with facts.
I first actually started doing something in the 2016 cycle. Bernie showed us that formerly radical progressive ideas could be mainstream. Money in politics, climate change, all these things that people were so fed up about maybe because they had been labeled as unchangeable. The things that were the most wrong were the things you could do the least about. The second Trump got elected, the Women's March, I marched in Washington and stuff like that. But it's a different kind of motivation now. After 2016, I just felt horrible and like I needed to do anything I could to try and start fixing the situation. But now it feels more like possibilities, right?
The Democrats have been trying to, swing the district ever since redistricting in 2012, the first election after that, and have been just incredibly unsuccessful as up to this point. It would have been September of 2017. The race got started very early, the primaries did.
The past 2 cycles that were both lost pretty horribly by Democrats, not making those same mistakes and running a robust campaign, because this is an Obama-Trump district.
So many people were interested in the primaries, and that energy just kind of was built upon since then.
If you look at Antonio, he was very prepared for all the debates against Faso. Because they were all around the district constantly, I think it really prepared Antonio. We saw him on Friday, this last Faso Friday, which is the weekly protest against John Faso, and he seemed fairly calm for someone who's 4 days out of the election.
John Faso, couldn't you dare vote away our health care? John Faso, couldn't you dare vote away our health care? All this divisiveness, all this ugliness is meant to distract us. Yes. That's it. That's right. That's all it is. It's meant to keep our eye off the ball. That's right. It's meant to keep us not thinking about how we need to come together and fight for everybody's shared opportunity and well-being. That's right.
Do you think the grassroots pre-primary organizations or early primary organizations that were just set up from the ground, I think those had a huge impact.
The Democratic Party is really invested in this idea of grassroots campaigning. The Republican Party just hasn't. It's more about, money.
I've traveled everywhere across this district, and no matter how red the town, no matter how blue, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. We're getting packed houses, town hall after town hall, and by the way, yes, we're doing one in every county, unlike the current congressman.
The problem is that it was very difficult to cover the primaries for a traditional newspaper because of declining budgets, declining news staff.
I can bluntly state that the coverage was pretty crappy. Instead of talking about the enthusiasm on the ground, we instead were focusing on the fact that there's a bunch of racist ads.
As a candidate, Antonio Delgado claims he's like us.
I learned the values of honesty and responsibility.
go to church, stay out of trouble.
But as a rapper, the real Antonio Delgado criticized democracy and mocked the war on terror.
Contradicted democratic position in the name of a war against terrorism.
Delgado even minimized 9/11.
More than 40 times the lives lost in 9/11.
Antonio Delgado, his voice can't be our voice. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Those ads were racist, and we need to call that stuff out wherever we see it. I don't know John Faso personally, but he allowed those ads to stay on air. He absolutely could have condemned them, and he didn't.
I think the ads are deeply unfortunate, and they speak to a climate right now that is divisive and ugly, and we can do better.
Those ads, however, are provocative, and Mr. Delgado's words are provocative in terms of what he said about women, about law enforcement, about our founding fathers.
Where there are needs of constituents, have offices. When people want to talk to you, you want to be accessible. Faso has failed in every regard. Chris Gibson had an office in Sullivan County, in Liberty. Faso closed it. Chris Gibson had an office in Hyde Park in Dutchess County. Faso closed it. Chris Gibson had a presence up in Cooperstown. Faso had nothing. Faso closed all these offices, so he's not accessible. Refused to do town hall meetings.
This past weekend, I think the campaign had over 100,000 people just volunteering for him that weekend alone. It was so much so that we ran out of turf numbers to go to.
They're counting on you not to vote. That's what they're counting on. But if you just change that around and say, no, we're gonna vote this time. We're gonna vote every time they're out. I'm gonna go find 20 more people to vote with me. Go find them.
Faso knows the district. We need to make sure we return him back to Congress. Here he is. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. John Faso.
Thank you very much. We are blessed with these inalienable rights bestowed on us, not by government, but by God.
I'm not expecting you to, you know what I mean, like.
No, but I'm interested to hear why. Like, what compelled you enough to, like, that made you so motivated for Faso that you feel like he's done enough good that you wanted to come out here and protest for him, I guess?
Well, I've been a lifelong conservative. I've always come from a conservative family. I'm actually interning on the Faso campaign this fall through Eastern Reupload. Made up my mind, and I won't turn around. Found dead people in the forest.
No matter our political differences, I will always serve with integrity. Accountability. Responsibility. And a whole lot of love. We have to fix what's broken in order for us to no longer be the only developed country in the world without some form of universal health care. We've got to fix what's broken to be able to truly tackle the climate change crisis by investing in renewable energy sources.
Honestly, I think this might be a difficult seat to hold in 2 years. Yeah, maybe in like 8-10 years, this will be like, not a hard blue district, but not a swing district.
If you get your voice involved in the Democratic Party, you can make it your Democratic Party.
We have exceptional capacity, our generation. I really believe that we're gonna come together in a way to do it, but we only do it if we show up and vote and run for office. And I hope that every young person out there who's considering taking that leap does it, really. It's something that is important for the future of this country.